I went to York Catholic High School. I was on that college career track, and I went to a 2-year school because I wanted to get out and I wanted to work as soon as possible. Over the years, I realized the value for what I wanted to do in having a bachelor's degree. So I went back part-time at night, and it took me forever to get my bachelor's degree, but I graduated from the University of Maryland, and then I transitioned right into a master's program at the College of Notre Dame. So my undergrad work had been in business, and then for my master's degree, I took a program in cultural communications, which really helped sort of lay this foundation for what I was going to do in my career later on. I decided to move back here with my daughter and left retailing and was looking for something to do, and actually ended up in education at a career college that is no longer in business, but went into the admissions department, which is kind of sales of a sort, and really enjoyed that. And then over time, I transitioned into the academic side of the house. And when I left that school, I was the vice president of academic services. And I'd heard that they were going to be bringing a hack campus to York. And I knew we really needed one. In fact, I was surprised it had taken so long and got really excited about that. I was hired to start the York campus. So I was in York all by myself in an office with a computer and a telephone, and I had all these wonderful people at HAC's Lancaster campus to help me out. But that's really how we got started. We had 200 students taking night classes in York, and it grew so quickly that before we knew it, we were growing, had 1,000 students, and I think by the time I left HAC at the York campus, there's multiple buildings. It looks like a campus, and they had over 3,000 students, so that was very gratifying. We had gone through some serious financial challenges at HAC. We had grown, and then we really had to kind of pull back and rein in and rethink our business model. And I think that experience of going through some difficult times really prepared me a little bit better, as challenging as it was to go through a budget impasse year and have no money coming in here at the YWCA and have to go out and borrow $1.5 million to keep our doors open. I think if I hadn't had some challenges when I was at HAC, I would not have been prepared for what was to come here. The most important attributes a leader must possess really has to do with bringing your authentic self to work. For me, that authenticity is when my personality and my talents come into alignment with my life's purpose. Leading by example really became what worked for me over time. And I do that today. You know, if we're having events, I'm out there lugging out the tables and setting things up just like everybody. But also in terms of leadership style, I'm really all about developing people, professional development. One of the things I did first when I came to YWCA is I brought in a consultant to do some training with our directors, because I really felt that, you know, sometimes someone is really good at the job that they do and then you promote them and you make them a manager or a director, but that's a completely different skill set. So that type of professional development is important to me. One statement that has been very powerful for me comes from Marianne Williamson, and she talks about how our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's really true. People need to be more comfortable coming into that power of who they are and be able to trust that. I think there's a lot of fear around that. I'm talking about the power of communication, the power of silence, the power of making mistakes and what you learn from that. I think that is a really powerful philosophy. The advice I would give to a young woman just starting out her career is really to be thoughtful, to have a plan, but then just to be open to the serendipity that seems to happen for everyone and be ready for that. I also think that young women have something to teach me, because I was much slower in building my career, and I think younger women today are willing to put themselves out there and ask for what they want. So I think that's powerful advice for any young woman. What I'm most proud of in my career are the people that I have worked with who have been willing to take on these big challenges with me. And sometimes it's that daring to go forward not knowing. And I've been able to find this little band of sisters and brothers who've been willing to do that with me. And I'm really proud of everything that we've accomplished. I'm so humbled to be a part of the organization, and I look at the work that they do as being powerful and sacred. At the YWCA, I think our legacy is really helping victims become survivors and working with these vulnerable populations so that they can really make hope real for people.